Everybody get up, it's time to slam now.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam, if you wanna jam.
In 1976, see, these natives who've been living like they always have since there's been a sense were visited by missionaries who came to save them from themselves, offering hell in the form of heaven. A language barrier divided their speech, so they couldn't properly teach their doctrines. Conversations got lost in translation because these natives didn't have a word for sin, repent, or resurrection. So really, how could you teach Christianity then? How can you tell someone about Christ if they never heard the word sin in their life? Or can even grasp the concept that something like this could even exist, but these missionaries' motto was get the lost at any cost. So they persisted offering hell in the form of heaven. Since they get the message, they got to try a new method. See, these missionaries went back, studied their language, got it translated in the New Testament, saying that their ancestors' blasphemous behavior led to the death of Christ their Savior. They converted the whole tribe in a day. Now tell me that ain't the best way to make a slave. Tell me you can't see the genius in evil ways brilliant, knowing that humans are so resilient in survival and spirit. Look, force the old to teach the young until they're old, then their young will follow in tow. Habitual rituals turn them into drones, but ask them the origins of their faith, they don't know and don't want to know. Make generations obey to the point that it is so engraved that they teach their offspring the same trained ways that they were raised, and if that cadence stays, they'll make each other slaves. Now, what if they took this plan but on a bigger stage? I mean, humans are essentially sheep, argumentative, abnormal, disguised as a system of belief. Missionaries manipulating that chief, that was small. What if the plan was to get them all? Get the lost at any cost is the mantra, looking for heaven and only hell is offered. And I can't help but think that these missionaries taught them about sin in the first place. They didn't know evil, didn't know lies till they were lied to, and you call it giving them the truth. But I ask you, is this what Jesus would do? Because there's one thing I know that God cannot do, even if tried, and that's lie. So your sermon becomes a diatribe. You're seeing people living righteous lives mixed with your self-righteous pride, and you guilt tripping me and threatening me at the same damn time. For you, he died, and if you don't believe in him, you're going to fry verbatim. Only Satan would make such an ultimatum. You might as well say that, trying to give me the good word while a gun is at my cranium. Kudos to Willie Lynch. But Roman Emperor Constantine and King James was the shit. Because he had the world, hook, line, sinker, a loaf of bread, and two fish. Philistines, claiming to be down with the king. But if you touch the hem of his garment, you find that the material is the same, no matter what the language, image, or the name. That's what fellowship really means. I mean, am I such a low being that I can learn about God from you, but you can't learn about God from me? We can't coexist with different beliefs. See, this is where freedom of speech and religious intolerance meets. First, know your God intricately instead of offering hell when heaven is already inside. See, this is how I eat. I'm not some pauper begging y'all for pennies on the street. I'm a poet that performs lyrical feats for a fee. See, it's an exchange of goods and service. These words give microphones a purpose, and no matter how many times I recite, every time I get in front of a crowd, I'm always nervous. But I multiply that energy to the crowd's chemistry, words that metamorphosize the energy. Thus begins my nomadic ministry. See, it's like a Star Trek, from one poetry spot to the next, hoping that I can etch a sketch on your mind's depth and leave with a little bit more than what I came in with to feed my habits, that's speaking and eating. And when I'm not doing those, I'm planning, writing, reading and sleeping. So at least 4 days in the week, in the morning or the evening, I'm searching for that underground poetic legion. So know that every mic that has harnessed the power of my breath has kept back the angel of death, and every step towards success is that much more stress, but yo, I'm blessed. Beyond comprehension. These aged double barrel shots I take ain't blanks. Cups become like biggest fish tanks. Call me the aquatic alcoholic, feeling like I'm under the sea, on the dock of Parrot Bay, trying to pose like Captain Morgan. Man, you can squeeze out an organ and get 80 proof. Drinks on me. A drunk man speaks a sober mind, confessing 80 truths on me. See, I drink so I wouldn't think, pass out, and repeat. Think, drink, pass out, and repeat. Not a monogamous drinker either. I cheat. Anything with ethanol. The higher the content, the lower my conscience. Is that GodChild or Godzilla the monster? Can I have another is a mantra? I got a joke. I walk into a bar and don't drink. Sometimes be so fucked up, my hand kung fu gripped on an empty cup. See, drinking has a problem with me. In an abusive relationship with myself, acting like I got beef with someone else, but then seeing my reflection in the bottom of a bottle or top shelf, man, I can drink a drunk under the table. A glass half full is about to be as empty as my inside, so now I use ink as my intoxicants. My obstacles become topical. I'm not an alcoholic. See, I'm a connoisseur of cocktails. I'm a beverage aficionado. I'm just partial to partaking in chemical agents, so frequent, fragrant, and invasive, feeling like a terminally ill patient stuck in stasis. I'm sick of myself. Like a bully in the mirror, I pick on myself. Image. I don't like when I see when I'm not me. See, happy hour is an all-day, everyday thing, but the smile is inverted with the euphemism inserted, like, yeah, I'm all right. That's lip service. It's like I'm allergic to being sober. Conversations with cocktails, chased with ale, pass out like I want my kidneys to fail. But they say the actions dictate your fate. So if I keep going this way, I'd be an example of what not to do, not asking for pity, simply just letting you know my beer goggles are empty. No more eyes wide shut. I'ma exercise this demon like I got Satan doing push-ups. I want to make a toast to everybody who has never felt, it was ever felt like a nobody without a cup. Stay thirsty, my friends, for life. Because being a drunk, you'll never drink enough.
Sad King John would like to say hello. Or Sad King John would like to confess. Sad King John would like to explain how he messed it up. Or Sad King John would like to show you the fragments and tell you which elbow did the bumping and offer to pay generously for the damages. Sad King John would like to stop being so loud. Or maybe he's too quiet. Or Sad King John would like to stop saying stupid stuff when he was trying to be nice. What does nice mean anyways? Or Sad King John would like to sing, but he doesn't. Or Sad King John would like to apologize for how few lines he's written and how often he speaks them. Sad King John would like to create something beautiful. Or Sad King John would like to smash it all to bits. Sad King John knows why they left. Sad King John would like to watch the city lights blink and hear the hum of the cars passing by. Be still. Or Sad King John would just like to say good night.
Dear Heroine, I don't know you. Never touched or tasted you, but I've seen the havoc you wreak, taking a hold of my brothers, tearing them apart, leaving nothing but pain in your path. You are the devil in disguise, stealing souls and destroying lives. Their addictions spread like wildfire in an epidemic of epic proportions, turning their lives upside down. I seen the way you lured them in with promises of escape and euphoria, but all they found in your grasp was darkness and no way to escape your grip. Our family, you shattered all because of your toxic hold. I begged you, heroin, to release your grip, to let go of the hold you have on them. Their souls deserve better than to be lost in your clutches. I prayed for the day when you were no more, when your power was extinguished. I prayed that my brothers would be set free to live a life untouched by your poison. That day came in the form of a call I dreaded for years. You took the lives of my brothers, their innocent souls, and claimed them as your own forever. Now I sit here with words unsaid, love that I'm unable to give, anger that I can't release, an unreal amount of emotions buried deep inside my heart. You are a burden I carry with me every day. You have ruined my life. I never touched, tasted, or tried you, yet I feel your effects. You have left my life forever tainted. Your poison penetrated my veins, but no needle was ever needed. I never sought you out, yet you found your way to me, a dark and destructive force. You linger in my thoughts like a stain. I wish I could rid myself of you, but you're a part of me now, a constant reminder of my grief and pain. Fuck you, heroin. This life you cannot have. This life you cannot take. You may have taken people from me, but you will not take no more. You may have left your mark, but I am strong. And with this letter, a newfound strength has been found. So respectfully, you can kiss my ass and go to hell, because that's exactly where the fuck you belong.
My therapist says that the disembodied voice in my head, the one that criticizes and demeans, the one that drips judgment down my spine and poison in my ear, the one that sounds exactly like my mother, is not my mother. My therapist says that it's not fair to her or me to take all this negativity and assign it thusly. That though my mother may have scattered the seed, I tended the garden. That she may have sung me to sleep to the tune of my inadequacies, but I am the choir now. That she may have taught me how to shoot the gun, but I am the one aiming it. It is my finger on that trigger. The voice in my head sounds like my mother, but also her mother before her, and her mother's mother. A lamentation paid forward, a generational condemnation. Beget, begat, begot, begotten. The point never forgotten. The core of us is rotten. My therapist says that not all traditions are worth keeping. Better off sweeping them under the rug than weeping through that keeping. That my self-hatred might be a legacy, but that I can always pawn an heirloom. My therapist says that this voice is actually quite normal, that most people have one. I ask if they always sound like their mothers. She says, not always. I ask how others live or thrive with this poison in their mind. My therapist says, I don't know. How are you doing it? To be honest, I didn't realize I was. You're here, she says. And though she makes a valid point, I still have that voice. And if it's not my mother's, as she says it is, whose is it? Is it mine? If the gun I was given isn't aimed at me, who should I point it at? Who becomes the new target? My therapist asks why I don't just put the gun down. I'm embarrassed to say it never even occurred to me.
Tonight's a beach night. It's never a reach, right? In Southern California, shit, even when it rains, it's golden. Holden Caulfield, all of us, freshly independent, independently wealthy. Rachel's reels of Polaroid selfies immortalize the moment. There's plenty to go around. Prithee, Tim, bartender, please tender another round of too much drink. Too much greed. I nurse a needed spliff, palming an old fashioned in the middle of the floor. You sit pat next to Matt and you snore a happy chorus while the rest sing and laugh. A preliminary threshing of the wheat from the chaff. Anderson pack bobs and weaves throughout the background, while Bob and Steven toast the shareholders who've yet to crack down on our little slice of luxury. But it's more than that. It's comforting to know that we've lucked into something beautiful. Bonds beneath the cuticle, midst days spinning cubicles where our work is seldom musical but affords us such a useful commodity. Madeline's in it for the money and the lifestyle. I've got to be. I mean, who could turn these chances down? We cannot be anomaly. In the back of my head, though, I know I don't feel scholarly or creatively fulfilled, but for the love, that I'll be bottling. And speaking of bottles, pour more vodka to the heart of me. The night's still young and dumb and fun. Oblivion is calling me. What's conscience in good company? I no longer have to run from me. Tomorrow the sun may swallow us all. Tonight I'm living comfortably. Do I still pay rent for that apartment in your head? Had you not intervened when you did, perhaps I would have bled out in that parking lot. Do I park a spot, chalk and white paint beneath your brain? Does my existence provide pain? An omnipresent rain cloud effect, was it your neck on the line? Do you pine after the time when my yoke was easy? Do you feel sleazy abandoning a friend after freeing him from the fate he chose freely? I went to hell for you. I returned and you ushered a red carpet welcome back to the world of the living, a smile and a hug over a slice of pepperoni. You told me you loved me and just wanted to see me happy. I kept my promise. And where the fuck were you? The earth again fell away when I had only just remembered how to stand. What kind of man does that to his brother? Do you fancy yourself a martyr? I love you dearly, but I will not entertain such childish misapprehensions. I pray you face head on and make peace with your decisions, as I have. And to our sister, Kumusta, of you I wish the same, but since you lack the decency even to reach out to you, I simply say, poem.
Wishing you could rot, 6 feet under dirt, never to unearth, rising from the dead with your deadly virus. Zombie influence continuing to eat away at one's mental stability of traumatized anguish, which shall never, I mean never, cease to be released into unaffected, forgotten PTSD. Locked, chained, confined to one's own inner jailed victimization, hoping with every fiber of being, justice grants your deserved jailed conviction. But this wish can't easily be granted. A victim to win against perpetrator, perpetuating innocence of committing such an act. Tormented by cards of chance, shuffling through a system of justice where both sides take a risk. To lay their hand out to see where these cards fall, which side will belief be found? The side of truth that must be revealed, convincing others to see beyond, perpetuating lies. Hidden behind a veil of false character as we challenge your bluff of self-preservation fluff where you act as though we shall fold, grant you the winning hand of getting away with horrid actions, but we see right through your cunning deceit and need for our healing to begin with you living through suffering repercussions, to pay for your years of perverted abuse, to end your zombie defects so that we may regain control over a life you stole. Of innocence now tainted, still learning how life could have been painted without your chaos Jackson Pollock splatters of abstract angles of trust that was placed in your hands, to teach one about a life experience that shouldn't have been experienced the way it had to be distortedly learned from you, forever fearfully walking on eggshells, seeing from the corner of one's eyes, the lingering effects of your damaging domination, having to weigh the scales of desired justice over the stress of one's mental capacity of well-being. You need to be put away, kept away for as long as possible to suffer as worse an imprisoned fate as the one you have put through to deal with your bestial behaviors. For the rest of their unjailed life, seeking to live freely without worry of reminders of you, lurking in the shadows, everywhere they go, every time eyes are closed, every time similar situations allude to flashbacks of victimization. Justice has to be served for the one who didn't deserve such acts to be committed against them. Justice has to be served to put one in their place, shatter their disillusioned reality, come face to face with consequences of their horrific actions, realizing the magic trick of illusioned intentions as no longer a secret held and hidden. Perpetrator has dug their own dark hole abyss, inescapable until probationary terms are met, forced to deal with felony sins committed as victim reaches for that glimmer of light moving forward past violated trust. granted closure and justice, burying you under truthful revelation, surviving your zombie influential control to find mental clarity and emotional stability.
My name is Dre Reyes, and I am an addict. I'm addicted to the feeling of pen on paper, juicy words that the page will savor, creating poetry that influences radical behavior. You see, when it's a passion, it's never a labor. So let's take artistic expression straight no chaser and scream the eternal cries resting within Mother Nature. May all of our poems be star-destined prayers that become future lifesavers to the ones who may be our future engravers. I'm addicted to the community, the feeling of unrivaled unity, achieving spiritual immunity, not feeling like a minority, the wonderful souls and personalities where every day is a ceremony, a celebration of our humanity. I'm addicted to the energy of comfortably showing vulnerability, relaying a hurt into healing creatively, and relaying that to a frequency from minds to throats to technology to the world around me with the hope that maybe my words can provide some validity in someone's reality. I'm addicted to poetry. Can you feel me? My system refuses to make antibodies for the creative bug that embodies all of me. I'm addicted to poetry, and the ability gives me to be a little wild, a little crazy, pushing language and testing it and pushing to its boundaries just to see what it could be for shits and giggles and scientific theory. I'm addicted to poetry and the spiritual liberty it brings me. I'm a word junkie whose only fix is poetry. Again, my name is Dre Reyes, and I am an addict. For there is no high in the world that compares to spoken word.
The counting men are coming. Can you hear them counting down? Mustn't be caught being different now. Closing books and closing schools, closing minds with their fucking rules. Data access giving way to paywalls, pitfalls, recalls, AI footfalls. Which billionaire gives you access to the internet these days? Good channels and bad channels became pre-chewed news for baby birds, regurgitated into eager mouths fighting to be first, to taste the tang of truth, fabricated in the fires of the fall, because it's over, y'all. Crawling from the crater comes now. All compassion obliterated on impact. Nobody's intact. The temple got disintegrated while we masturbated. We've been saturated with endless piles of garbage time. Podcasts broadcasting real crime in real time, 1 million megabits of bullshit streaming in. You can't wave 1984 at people who haven't read it. They're busy shorting the American dream, betting hard on the crash, cutting you off in their luxury SUVs because it's great TV going down. We like it when the funny man makes it funny. Catchphrases and catchy tunes, balloons, caricatures of the statesmen of many nations, sold out for 30 pieces of silver on the dollar, 3/5 of the way to redemption, if that, because maybe it's fucking negative. Human nature written in spaghetti code, shovelware, and nobody cares. Delivering meals to the helpless now seems heartless. And they only knew she was gone when she didn't come in for work. Who's gonna man the till while fingers probe, looking for nickels to be counted, while we're dancing down because it's time. We're dead.
A question that echoes endlessly in my mind. Where are you? I look for you throughout the day, my mind searching for traces of you on this side of heaven, and numbers, butterflies, your favorite color, and your nephew's face. I paint a picture of you in my mind with colors so vibrant and bright. Your figure shimmering and bathed in divine light, surrounded by stardust. Did you get your halo? Are you dancing in the sky with the angels by your side? Are you playing a role unseen behind the scenes in my life? Are you somewhere nearby? I long to see your smile, to hear your laugh. I want so bad to feel your embrace. If only I could just see your face. I sit here, tangled in thoughts of you, gathering the memories and moments we've shared. Can you feel my heartache? The clocks keep ticking, but time for me has stood still. You said time and space may separate us, but heartstrings know no end. Yet you fucking left me here searching for you, my mind not allowing me to comprehend that you are no longer here in this place. And my grief can never be erased. Where are you? With each passing day, the question remains, where are you? Though I may not ever know the answer, though doubt may sometimes intervene, I hold on to the hope that we meet again on the other side. But until that day comes, I'll continue to search for a moment of connection in this lonely place. I'll search for you in the crowd of faces, the clouds and the sky, your favorite places, until the question I ask gets answered. Where are you?
Why do you smell so good? Your aroma sends subliminal messages through inhaled memories of your sweet, buttery taste, melting in my mouth from your naked skin. No juices yet cover your hot and popping exterior of rippled membranes, a contoured anatomy easily recognizable and desired by all. So smitten am I, staring at your potent appearance, I am drooling until I can fancy flavorings of you across my titillating taste buds. Your natural pheromones attract me to you. I say I'm not hungry. I don't need a snack, but you are always my most favorite type of snack to nibble on any time of day. With one swift whiff of you, your scent pulls me in. Instantly, I crave you. My mouth waters just thinking of having you in my possession, resting on my lap as my thighs dance, rocking you back and forth, holding you in place while you patiently wait for me to devour and suckle every portion of you. I need a taste of you now. I can't wait any longer. I need to grab you by the handfuls. I need every morsel of buttery sweetness you possess to satiate this craving, my scrumptious appetite for you. So I drop everything. Your subliminal presence has me hooked. You are now my main feature. I'm reeling in your aromatic preview, ready to sit down and watch scenes of you being gobbled up, stuffing your delicacy in my mouth, licking in all your varied flavors up until the finale scene, savoring you to your last possible sweet bite, found at the bottom of this bowl, my featured love affair with sweetly buttered popcorn.
How are you? Are you still doing okay? I hope you know that I think of you almost every single day, even if you're not. I'm still here to help. I know that you were taught to put your feelings on the shelf, to bottle them up inside because no one wants to hear it. But you don't have to hide the pain that's lingering in your spirit. I truly care about you. And I'm wishing for the best, that you learn to reach out to when you feel like a noose is around your neck. You don't have to swing in gallows for me to see the pain you're in. You don't have to sit and wallow in the depression you've been in. You can call me anytime that your spirit is in need. I drop everything on the dime before I sit and watch you bleed. I don't want to get a phone call saying that your spirit is gone when you could have given me a call so we could try to find a way to solve any situation that could be possibly haunting you. Remove your thoughts from the equation that have you feeling blue, or maybe I could sit with you and not even speak at all. It could literally just be us two sitting on a call, not having to say words because I feel you in my spirit. Leave the bullshit for the birds because we ain't trying to hear it. I really fucking love you, man. I hope that you can see that God's been working on the better plan for both you and for me.
I hold my tension in the cuticle of my thumbnail, it would seem, since I'm always pressing on it, pushing into it with the nail of my ring finger, fingers fluttering, pulsing with this tension that I have nowhere else to put. And it seems I am often tense, at least judging by the fact that I'm always doing just that, worrying my cuticle like it threatened to cut me. I believe a psychologist would call this a stim, which makes sense. I am neurodivergent, though it took them years to figure that out. Turns out if you get good grades and were born as curious as a cat, they all assume the fact that you can barely take care of yourself is simply laziness. And that's that. But it's more that I'm so often lost in my own mind, wandering circles in the meadows of my memories, tending the gardens of my goals, swashbuckling blades with my nightmares, and falling in love with a person whose face I have never been able to conjure. One of the rare limits to this overactive imagination. Ask me about Shakespeare and I will quote you his work. Ask me about philosophy and I will ramble endlessly about the invisible labors that underpin society, that privileged scholars took for granted. How are they to know the world when they don't know how to wash their own damn socks? Ask me about politics and I'll dust off my soapbox. I am teeming with thoughts like an overdue teapot. Just tip me over and I'll give you all I've got. But ask me to take a shower. And I'm not equal to the task. No, that's not quite right. I'd do it if you asked. The problem is remembering to do it on my own, then finding the mental space in between all those thoughts that race to splash some fucking water on my dirty fucking face. There's just so many steps. There's so much to plan for. What do I wash first and how long do I take to dry? And if I have to leave at 5, what time do I have to start to try? I waste minutes, sometimes hours, trying to figure out the most efficient way to get myself clean. And when I do, I'm still surrounded by clutter, mental and more, since my apartment is chaotic. Though I don't mind overmuch, since most of the time I barely notice. How many mugs on your desk is too many? Never mind. It will not stop me from amassing a collection of posthumous coffee containers. My brain is going to filter all of this out as uninteresting noise. And why listen to that alarm when Doechii has a new single that I can play on a loop in my own head instead? Better her staccato melodies than the clanging static of my maladies. Hey, it works for me. Until I have people visit me. And I see my mess through their eyes, and suddenly no long overdue shower can wash the shame from me. But by that point, the problem has grown too big for me. And I don't even know where to start. And so I sit and I cry because I'm too overwhelmed to try. I feel like a fraud when I dress up for work, use big words in meetings with big wigs, attend cocktail parties and laugh wryly with a drink in my hand as I jauntily gesture, telling stories, pulling focus. All the while, these folks don't know that I can't even see my bedroom floor, that it has been eaten by a laundry monster who shows me no mercy, and that the same hand that holds that champagne flute is bleeding from the thumb, the one that I still use as a pacifier of sorts at 39. But it brings me peace. And so I'm constantly fiddling with my own hands. I've been told it's distracting, but firstly, I am distracting. A big personality and a bigger laugh. I wear a pink fur coat like an epigraph. I can't help but distract. And secondly, I don't do it consciously. It's not about you. It's not even about me. It's all id, you see. My lizard brain crawling off on its own impetus, sunning itself on a rock shamelessly, as if I don't have appearances to keep up. My lizard brain might be feral, one of those lizards that spits poison, but at least it's brightly colored. I never could camouflage. And nature always advertises its most deadly in assassins. You may take me down, but we will go down together, it says. Unfortunately, it is me and I and he and we need to find a better way than mutually assured destruction by profligacy. But for now, I poke and I prod. I flutter my fingers in that staccato rhythm, dashes and dots, SOS, I'm kind of lost, and no help is coming, and my fingers are tired, and it's not from all this typing. I wish it was from the typing, an attention deficit variant in a world made for type A. I'll always be a type 2 hyper. So, yay.
Autumn blooms, winter wails, green looms and white whales, pink walls, a house of cards, and a taste that never turns stale. In my eyes, it may as well be the main course of the whole event. I like coming to another's aid. What can I say? I'm generous. Kendrick said that last line would obviate recognition. Break these walls down with a foray of forehead kisses. Eyes open from below provides a striking view. The staff strikes only once it knows a river's rushing through. Jet streams gently encourage the jetties to move. I'm incorrigible. You don't fancy my attitude? Come find out firsthand just what this loud mouth can do. Smooth nails on paper skin, beckoning up and back. The carried case of an arrow, tug of hair, a stifled gasp, a crumbling composure past impossible to mask. Tantalus salvation draped just beyond her grasp. As our delicate dalliance dances toward a confident crescendo, a series of requests before it's officially time to let go. Hold tight to this ballet. It has nearly breathed its last. Hold tight to this emotion, blithely joyful, unabashed. Hold tight to this feeling, swell endorphin tides in mass. Hold tight to this moment. All good things must one day pass, and all paths lead to Florence. Aren't expats abhorrent? I mean, beautiful. My cuticles are blue, but I'll ignore it. My girl texts me she's wet. My OCD's in effect, so I burn my lips because I don't believe her one bit. She hates me. I don't know this, but she's fucking other poets is the yarn my brain is selling and the feelings not inchoate. My therapist says I should let the thoughts float by, like clouds, and find my safe place. But I look up and find not a shred of blue, and the sky is so vast. What am I to do but write on my regrets? I regress, and these checks they reject, so I'm trounced by bounce bills and cheap sex. My defect, addiction holds no recess, no court order for deep breaths, so I live in a fiction where my diction gives me recess. May my story be a harrowed one, its hero hooked on heroin, hairline vanity, and suicidal lexicon, hair trigger fractures in a class act case of martyrdom. Would were I not a poet, none the wiser not to know it, who did not wish to cast himself into deep oceans every moment that he thinks on almost lovers or his ostracized from brothers. This is why I'm never out, because I live under the covers. Why, whenever I hug you, it's so tight that it might smother. Why, she could say she loves me and I still won't trust the rubbers. This is why I am, since out my mother, obsessive, compulsive, disorderly, no other side in concrete. I am paralyzed, sized up, found wanting, wanton, wan, and clawing at my pair of eyes, clutching at my parents' side without concern for care or rhyme for reason. The seasons changed. Maybe this one's when I'll die. Maybe today's the day I drive to the rifle store on Pine and Fourth and recline it back toward all I'm worth and pull click, and that's it. And I no longer have to sit with a mind that always can't relent, with a mind that just will not repent for turning my whole life to shit and scorn. And I'm torn because I wake up every morn eager for the night again. And so I daily tie one on. So I daily play this song. And I barely mime along. But one day, I'll man up. And like a cloud, I'll just be gone.
I no longer want to be the bull in my china shop. I've stepped on enough glass to learn my lesson, tired of seeing red on the bottoms of my feet. I have trouble writing love poems. It's not that I don't know love. I'm surrounded by love, oftentimes smothered by it. Not like pillows over heads or elevators too full, like pork chops and gravy or steak and onions. My appetite for love is always overflowing. In the way there's always a child wrapped around my leg or a baby entangled in my arms. In the bedroom where the magic happens. He sinks his chin into my breast, arms around my chest, his mind cradled by sleep. A toddler creeps in amidst the darkness, searching for solace between sheets, and she brings elbows and knees, and kicking and hogging. And I know this doesn't sound much like love, but what do you call it when a child finds safety in your arms and a baby finds rest on your chest? Time's favorite thing to wear is noise. From the time we wake up to the time we go to bed, there is always off-key pianos, too close to the microphone singing, crying, fighting, booming, banging, and one of my favorites, hugging. Laughter bellows through the rooms of my home, singing like a Sunday church bell. The seams of my walls burst with happiness. It's not always peaceful. Sometimes the rainy season in the mind tries to wash out these moments like sandcastles, and love begins to look like overstimulation, postpartum depression, not wanting to be touched, forgetting who you are, rage. And my rage becomes a bull in this mental china shop. But these fingers and this pen don't know anything but love. And when they make love, the pages in my book clutch their spine a bit harder, brace for impact, for these love child syllables leaking out of this pen, of this hopeless romantic. I love in images of the bastard tongue. It is my love language, like the breath of heartbeats from my body or my baby's imagination. So I have trouble writing love poems, not because I don't know love, but love doesn't always come in peace.
Tell us how you really feel when we sing out to you, my landscape jewel. You're really give me that oh so special feel. You're nothing more than a real estate deal. We've heard you say it all before, but this can reveal, we think, you're cheap ass merchandise and nothing more than a wisdom blinking what I'm thinking. I got that feeling. You're nothing more than a real estate deal. We think you'll welcome our steamy soldiers dressed in their dearly daring camos. There's so much more than you deserve up there in their pretty pairing parkas pouting while they're scoping out on close inspection your family outing. With all that Times Square highly stylistic fashion appeal, we think you'll enjoy being nothing more than a real estate ploy. We'll build a few McDonald's and a Taco Bell or two. We might even send a visiting Quisling Panda party our vast and steady friendship efforts to renew. But you might as well lean back and take it. You're sure treaties, yeah, we're desperate, ready to yearn to break it. We think you're going to like our feel, you and yours being nothing more than a real estate deal. Yeah, you got a government, and we'll see about that. We've already destroyed a few already. Yeah, you got it done and nothing flat. We took down the Senate and it dissolved in a dancing cloud of dollars. We got our few fishing boats, a barge, and all that squalor. Oh, and our nuclear garbage dumps and the nuclear stumps. You better never holler, chumps. We'll send our submarines if that's what we need to make the deal. We've done it before. Ask the Indians. They know it's real. You're nothing, trust me, honey, though the sky may be sunny. You're nothing more than a real estate deal. Hey, take it, babe. We really want no fuss. We'll have our desperate needs. Go ahead if you want and call it greed. We won't conceal, watch it congeal. Once again, we thank you, Johnny. It's all for real. You're nothing more than a real estate deal. I told you all along. I know you heard it in the song. You can just wrap it up in your sarong. It's real. I told you all along, like tensile steel. You're nothing more than a real estate deal. You can gin up propaganda. JD's got his makeup on to extend our demand. Usha can wear her cutest sarong. Please don't ever take this wrong. We weren't all kidding all along. You know exactly how to feel. You're nothing more than a real estate deal. We sent some heavy hitters because you know we ain't no airy-fairy dog darn bullshitting. You can negotiate all you want. The leash we hold is already taut. You know it doesn't matter. Our will is steel. You need nothing more to us than a real estate deal. You are really, swear by my car, my Tesla won't go so far. It's real. You really mean to us? Well, seriously, no more time for fuss. You're really nothing more, and I can't conceal you're nothing more than a real estate deal.
Honor permeates a glint of razor sharpness and blinding speed. Some will die to preserve this code, and Tesoro almost lost his life for it. Yet technical and spiritual mastery was the ultimate victory. Numerous tales were told over centuries about the spirit of swordsmanship, of how to preserve this craft, the sword's strength, and how to die with honor while protecting it. Deftness and skill were legendary, and the art of precision was written on scrolls, sometimes hidden in caves. Nakamura died upholding this tradition, his son Tesoro traveling the Central Plains, fighting to collect the other famed swords to fulfill the wish of his dying sensei. For the enthusiast, the right mental attitude was essential, as well as numerous forms and katas. Tesoro was of undaunting courage and at the peak of fluidity and excellence. His free flow of spiritual harmony was second to none, and the rigorous training ultimately enabled the sensei and sword to blend like one, like the brook does with the river, like the chi to Mother Gaia, in a most harmonious repose and splendor. Swordsmanship is dipped in character-molding rituals. The glory of love and balance, of sacrifice, as well as mutual trust and respect for one's opponent. Forging of the blade is godlike, with prayers being said, trials in combat, and the evoking of the Tao, which enables one to lightfoot or ascend like the falcon, with the elegance and grace of gliding maneuvers, like a bevy of eagles swift in flight, with immaculate timing. The light of the sword, like adversity, is a tool in the hands of the supreme alchemist. The sharp blades of corporate greed, fences, trusting and dodging, using feints and trickery without remorse, bobbing and weaving like Joe Fraser, evading the shield of empathy, concern, and compassion sent their way by the messengers of light, of swordsmanship. This is so unfortunate for the hapless many. Yet the sword, a product of love's creating, preserving, and transforming, remains unyielding, wielding poisonous edges, viruses, tornadoes, tsunamis, and conflicts to transform my callousness and complacency into prayers of love divine. It is like a candle in the darkness, like Zatoichi, though blind, yet full of the spirit of sacrifice and extremely heightened senses, more than enough to drive the enemy away. Love drips, though, like raindrops. As such, our earthly garden, like seeds, takes time to be fertilized and harvested. Life struggles are seemingly the uncomely side of swords that direct their energies against Mother Gaia, against us. They slash against the heavenly blue with toxic flares, dig at the earth for hidden bunkers. Yet I repeatedly deny the invaluable lessons, unable to discern love's capacity to transform, of knowing that it will always be in charge of its own creation. Light works like a spiritual sword, cutting into the veils of darkness, ascending on the blazing fire of the breath of love. The sword of the Spirit is compassion, hidden on the sharp edges of justice, removing the sediments of greed, ego, and desires, restoring the soul's delight. Nakamura died for the spirit of the sword. Let us protect that spirit, the quintessence in all sentient and non-sentient beings, created on wings of light for the swordsmanship of the eternal.
Adulthood is a lonely neighbor. Yeah. I walk down that lonely road in a world that's treated me coldly. Yeah. Dead body cold. Yeah. There've been times in my prime in which I had a better chance of pushing the camel through the eye of sewing needle than finding warmth in this emotional icy. Yeah. But then all it takes is a spark and illuminates through the dark, finding its way to grow into an ember with an accompanying warmth that'll soon render into a wildfire that doesn't destroy, but rather builds into a ball of intensity that rivals the forces of 1,000 suns. Yeah! I'm gonna render you into a state of shock. Yeah. And you will not be coming down for a long time. Yeah. I'm gonna make you sigh and wheeze and sweat and bleed, and you'll feel like you've been in a car wreck, but I won't make you bleed. Yeah. The harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with the little shrubbery and the patches. Yeah. Nothing wrong at all. Nothing wrong with grabbing a little bit of bush and tugging it by the roots and see how you react when the nerve endings from that area shoot up to your spine to the divine leak in your mind. Yeah. Then you will find something you've never found before, and that's a new kink. Yeah. That's a new kink. And with that said, before you know it, you will succumb to my might and you'll be looking up at the lights. Yeah. And I'll be rising to the top because I'm the cream of the crop. And you'll be consumed by the madness. Yeah. This madness will consume you faster than a blink of an eye. It will happen so fast and you'll be. Excuse me. It will happen so fast that you won't be able to even talk about it. Yeah. Life comes at you fast, but you will be coming faster. Yeah. So don't you dare blink an eye. Don't buy any ripe bananas. Don't plan too much of your future. Yeah, because by the time the dust has settled, and you'll be reduced to a puddle of pleasure in which I'll bask and bathe in. Oh, yeah. Poem. Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. I've been exercising more muscle than my 20-inch pythons as of late, and I'm talking about the big muscle, the most important muscle, the big noodle, the brain, and not the Bobby Heenan variety, dude. Me and my Hulkamaniacs have been doing our research on global warming. With the sea levels rising, many natural habitats are in danger, brother. There's no shame in crying when the world around you is suffering and you feel that spiritual bond between you and the living, breathing forces of life that build the plant's ecosystem brick by brick, getting stronger and stronger by the second to the point that it's palpitating faster than a stampede of intergalactic shooting stars through every square millimeter of your veins, and you're overwhelmed with empathy, brother. And if that wasn't enough, my heart bleeds for all the Hulkamaniacs who go hungry worldwide, what they would do for a meal, man. And then it got to thinking of how we could kill potentially 2 birds with 1 stone, brother. First, I had to go to a whole new universe, a whole new frontier to obtain sacred knowledge that binds all living things together. I went to college, Mean Gene, and I came up with an elaborate college-educated plan that'll end both world hunger and the rising sea level. I went to great lengths to fund research, and honestly, we don't really know what we're dealing with here, man. I'm just a little worried with my level of influence if there's something that could be crazy enough to work. But if there's anything I've learned is that Hulkamania is the most powerful universe, the most powerful force in the universe, and we're about to give birth to a whole new movement, brother, and that's Pasta Mania. What happens when you cook pasta in a pan into a bowl? The overall volume of the boiling water. The pasta absorbs the water. There is less volume. It's just a matter of doing the same thing, but on a much grander scale, man. And you don't even have to add salt into the boiling waters this time because the oceans are loaded with them. And who doesn't love pasta, man? Who doesn't love pasta? Who doesn't love sucking down on some saucy spaghetti or gnawing on some gnocchi or feeding on some fettuccine or ravaging on some ravioli or macking on some mac jack? We'll have so much pasta, we'll be literally swimming in it all, man. So rising sea levels, world hunger, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when Pasta Mania runs wild on you?
Feels like I got my penis in my hand while I'm waving it in front of the fans. Droplets and leakage leak on the floor. The joy and the dopamine send me on all fours. I couldn't imagine a world where I couldn't do what I love to do. It can be as savory as my last chew or my last poop. Fighting emotions, cursing at people. I've been cursing at people. Blaming myself because that shit is feeble. Fighting battles in the ether realm. Doing researches. Trying to do my first film. Long weeks waiting for replies. I gotta go outside to do my work and say my goodbyes. So yes, it is a challenge to do what I love to do or what I want to do. Feels like I am fighting myself. Kung fu. Panicking, screaming, I just need to remain calm. Know that I got the world inside of my palm. Nothing can stop me from achieving these goals. There's not a problem on this earth that I can't hold. Nigeria, my heroes shall obey. Or shall I say Nigeria's? But Nigerians call, obey. Please be aware of our history, despite that we, the people, are proud to be of this country. Thus, this land, the spirit, this not a place for the timid. Namdi Azikiwe Babangida, even though Sabi pass a place like Bagada. Nah, I did for Lagos, in Chie in Lagos. With my father, we never rest till we get what is due to us. Power Bank, Access Bank, Joy. And Joy, God, that lady was lovely. Her dress smelled like almond joy. Picking up girls is a thing of treat. Mercy, confidence, and Vivian make my soul come alive. I would need to take a trip to the bank. So vain, so vain, so vain. Ego so hot that I long for the rain. Dressed so smooth that I look like an emperor. With the way I look, I'm sure to conquer it. Give me money, give me money. But you say you have no love for me. Give me money, give me money. Quit staring at me like that, you fucking bully. I woke up this morning, still no Versace. Where is the money? All I've got is kaftan and a scarf. Looking in the mirror makes me barf. Girl, quit your whining, complaining, and whinging. You're just extremely stingy. From Lagos to the east, only you? What about me, the kids? What about food? There is no money. There is no money. Next time you raise your voice at me, it won't be funny. Good Lord, honey, you've got to understand. My friends are talking about Fendi. All that fuels your mind is envy and petty. You just dampen my mood. I feel like you're not listening to me. Maybe we can swap places and you see how it feels. You're so hard to talk to. All you do is talk about your plate being full. Why do you have to be this way? I'm walking away from the till. I won't pay. Vanity, vanity, vanity. That's how I feel. Vanity, vanity, vanity. That's why I pop some pills. Vanity, vanity, vanity. You ain't gonna know it until before I have to go and save my sanity, sanity, sanity. Yabba, 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 yabba. I've got to save my yabba, 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 which is a place in Lagos. But oh my God, he's so vain. You never listen to me. You drive me insane. Ever since the fame, things have never, ever been the same. Go away from me, you're lame.
Lose your mind. Let it fall into the page. And then plant your feet until you become part of the stage. Become a vessel, unrecognizable to your own self to the point that even your mother is skeptical, thinking that you have to be someone else. I mean, whatever you're doing, be what you're doing. Misplace yourself on purpose. Be the embodiment of out of body on surface until your epidermis matches your inner working. See, you got to get out to get in. I mean, you got to get in to get out. I mean, look, whatever way you going, just choose a different route. Just make sure you don't know where you're going because there is no destination. It's only a journey. And the journey is eternity, trying to find forever within a few minutes. See me like I get older after I write every sentence, but I write like periods don't exist. Well, only ones by women. I mean, be so into what you're into that you become the utensil and people can actually eat off you. That's food for thought. or rather thought for food. That way, while you're feeding them, they would never get full. That's manner and grammar. Questions become inadequate for answers. You go in without an entrance or exit, or backwards, dyslexic, actually project. Mental calisthenics making your synapses flex. Rapid eye movement while you're wide awake. Avatar state. Making the words that lay heavy on your heart levitate because what you have to say has weight. See, thoughts are things. All things come from thought. So by that logic, if I think hard enough, I can actually conjure some shit up. Freestyle creation, with or without mics, acoustics are translucent. Sound touches light and then bends sight right in front of eyes. Metamorphosize, shapeshift. Make your expression so expressive that it actually gives a crowd a facelift. See, you didn't know you were genetically predisposed to this. You just had to be introduced to it. And as soon as you were, it was like kismet. A predestined prerequisite, what seems impossible becomes effortless. That's when word actually becomes flesh. Bones dressed in loose leaf like you bleed ink. I mean, tantric speech, knees weak, still able to stand up for what you speak. All you are, start putting shell. A masterpiece in a frame so frail. Look, I said all that say, imagine if goosebumps were braille. If you can feel me, it ain't hard to tell. If you can look at me, it's something like Morse code as well, because only with your hands and your eyes you can read or spell the unlifted veil. I'm so much in my zone that it feels like home. And that's exactly the moment where I started this poem. Damn, she fly. She fly like her wings got wings. She is a cherubim plucking my heartstrings, playing the sweetest things like a canvas could sing. Like music that touches a place that causes goosebumps. Immaterial yet attached, I can never get enough of too much of that. She make my cup runneth over, and she'll in turn run over when I put my words on her Niagara down her thigh pasture, but she did not cry to supply this river. See, a tongue medley makes a closed levee quiver. I'm going from dry land to an isthmus until I can see nothing in the distance, but I'm buoyant for her enjoyment. And I pay attention to her details like it's my employment. And I love my job. I love my job like Job loved God even after all his afflictions. She is the most natural prescription that cannot be prescribed by physicians. I stick, she transmission. She's a slippery when wet sign when I'm in pole position. Pop her clutch in juxtaposition, periodically adjust positions, and for some strange reason, she loves my diction. See, my conversation involves a vagina monologue. I'm speaking in tongues. I'm whispering on her sweet spots, and the response causes a dialogue. Now, that's real talk. Now, my main interest is to be closer to her than her pigment. We are kismet. Our connection is photosynthesis, hold it. I don't want to get caught up in the moment, not wanting anything to go unnoticed until we make a joyful noise with a cacophonous. She is flood, I am Moses. I provide the rod or staff. She my ocean, elixir, antidote, potion. We are performing alchemy in slow motion in our skin. Having no idea where she ends or I begin, it's like, that's it.